Okay, on the number 3 noble truth, you say about Vipassana. I didn't quite understand. It just a real place or just a state of mind?
It is not a place, and it is not a state of mind. It is, let us call it a state, because I cannot avoid using this. It is a state, a separate state. Something like, here is the book, and you see the book, right? So when you see the book, there is seeing consciousness in your mind. Seeing. So seeing is one thing, and the book is another. But the seeing consciousness takes this book as an object. So you say, I see the book, right? I see the book means I have the experience of this book. And so in the same way, Nibbana is like the book. And you see Nibbana, or you realize Nibbana with your mind, with another kind of consciousness. So when you take Nibbana directly as the object of your consciousness, you are said to experience Nibbana, or you are said to realize Nibbana. But just as this book is external to you, Nibbana is also external. You experience Nibbana.
I didn't experience Nibbana, because if you say, when you think about that like an state of mind, Nibbana can disappear because there's a beginning and an end. So
no, Nibbana has no beginning and no end, but your mind has a beginning and end. So your mind will last for only say 1 moment, and then it disappears. Then another mind will, another consciousness will arise. So there will be a series of arisings of consciousness in you. But Nibbana has no beginning, and so it has no end.
You know, in some books, some yogis say that they can go to another ashram place, and they study the Dhamma from another deity or something. Is that real or just?
In the original teachings of the Buddha, there is no such thing as studying Dhamma in the other realms or whatever. The human realm is the only place where you can really study Dhamma and also practice. The celestial beings they have better intelligence, better power of knowledge than human beings have. But celestial realm is so filled with sensual pleasures that it is not a good place for the practice of Dhamma and as well as for the study of Dhamma. So it is only the human realm where the study and practice of Dhamma is really possible. And in the realm of celestial beings, it is difficult to talk about dukkha, because they don't have old age, they don't have disease, they have death, but no old age and disease. And so they don't see any suffering as we see in the human world. So human realm is the best place for the study of Dhamma and for the practice of Dhamma. So in our books, it is stated that when bodhisattvas are reborn as devas, as celestial beings, they don't live there for the whole lifespan of that realm. They die before the whole duration of the lifespan there. It is because they don't get much opportunity to practice paramitas when they are reborn as devas.
You say that Nibbana can be attained if we have enough paramita. So one of the paramita is dana, right? Donation. So in case like that, like in Santa Clara or Los Angeles, David Parker, he gave a lot of charity. He gave 50 million to University of Stanford. And his asset has like 2 billion and 700 million, and he gave away 2 billion. So that's in case like that, he can attend Nibbana like that.
You know, how many paramitas are there?
just one?
No, I mean
10.
10, right?
10 paramitas.
So a person has to fulfill all 10 paramitas in order to become a Buddha, not just one paramita only. So he has to fulfill other paramitas also to attain Nibbana. Now, okay, to attain Nibbana, you have to practice meditation. So without the practice of meditation, it is very difficult to attain Nibbana. I mean, it is impossible to attain Nibbana. But now, you may have heard of stories during the time of the Buddha, when somebody came to the Buddha and he had never practiced anything before, and he met the Buddha for the first time, and Buddha taught him, and at the end of that discourse, he became enlightened. That means he realized Nibbana. Such things can happen when the person concerned has accumulated the paramitas in his past life. Then he seemed to realize Nibbana without practice of meditation. But in fact, there is a kind of meditation going on in his mind when Buddha was teaching him. Because the enlightenment must be preceded by Vipassana. Without Vipassana, there can be no enlightenment. Now we practice Vipassana for, say, many hours, and we have to make much effort. But such persons as have accumulated paramitas in the past need not make so much effort. They are like the lotuses. They're ready to open at sunrise, something like that. So as soon as the rays of the sun came, they just open up, something like that.
What I like to know is, I like to put more effort in meditation, but some initiatives do that.
Now, whatever act we do, say we are motivated by some kind of results we will get from that particular act. So if we don't see or if we don't expect anything from a certain act, we will probably not do that act. Now, you can think of the benefits of meditation. Now, a meditator and a non-meditator will respond to a situation very differently. If you are not trained as a meditator, your response to different situations will be mostly of attachment or anger or whatever. But when you have practiced meditation and you know how to deal with different situations and conditions, that means to be mindful of them and not to have attachment, then you can be more accepting. So you can accept ups and downs of life with more calmness or more equanimity. Now you see many people who cannot control themselves and then act like insane people or something like that. But people who meditate will not act like that. They have control over themselves, and so they can be, I think they can be happier in their lives that way. Because if your reaction to different situations is like average people, then there will always be more suffering than, say, happiness. But those who practice meditation will respond in a different way, and so they can control themselves from overreacting, and so keep equanimity with them. I think that the first result of the practice of meditation is just equanimity or peacefulness or calmness in the mind. That is the first thing we experience. Even though we may not get any other results, this result we get whenever we sit down and practice meditation. And that itself is, I think, a reward, a thing to be admired, because many people in the world are not peaceful and not tranquil, and you can be peaceful and tranquil among others who are not tranquil, something like that. Now, there is a man who told me he practiced meditation, and so he was always calm, whatever the situation. And at his work, he was other people were jealous of him, and they said they were angry with him. Actually, they said, "Why are you so calm? While we were say, getting angry with the different situations, and you look so calm, and you don't seem to belong to us," something like that. So he can keep himself pretty well. I mean, calm and tranquil, even though the situation not conducive to the peacefulness. So that is the result, or that is the ability the meditative people show. So people who do not practice meditation don't know what to do when the situation is bad. Even though they want to deal with the situation in a positive way, they may not know what to do. But those who have practiced meditation know what to do. Even though the situation is a bad one, you can react to it with equanimity. Just be mindful. Or sometimes just practice loving kindness meditation. For example, you are caught in the traffic, and so when people are caught in traffic, they are always angry with somebody else, right? They are impatient, and their tempers are very, exploding. But if you know what to do, then you can practice loving kindness meditation there. So you cannot do anything, any other thing. So you are in the traffic and you move very slowly. Then you can just practice meditation. Say, may he be well, happy, and peaceful. May she be well, happy. It's very good, yeah. I think you will even expect to be in the traffic just to practice loving kindness meditation. And it will make you a safer driver. So when you are calm, you don't get into accident. So it is a difference between those who do not practice meditation and who practice meditation. There is a saying in the Sanskrit books that you cannot cover the whole earth with leather, but when your feet are covered with just a piece of leather, then the whole earth is as good as covered with leather. So it is impossible to cover the whole earth with leather, so that you do not step on, say, stones or dirt or whatever. But you put on a pair of shoes and everything is all right.
During meditation, we can realize that life is complete and suffering. That's the two things that I can realize. That's but the third thing is so difficult to realize. There's no self. There's no self.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, by books and by meditation, I know that because I cannot control my thoughts and my thinking,
yes.
my mind, that there's no self.
Right. Yeah.
But if somebody hurts me, if somebody says some bad words to me, I start getting
That's
angry.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So how can I control? Because I know there's no self, but I know just by books or by, but I still think that there's a me.
Yes. You have to practice more. Yeah. It is difficult to maintain that understanding all the time. So when you practice, when you're really in practice, and you know that there is no self, there is nothing apart from mind and matter. But when you're out of meditation, then that notion comes back to you.
During
Right?
meditation, I can realize
That's right.
that's
Yeah.
outside. If
Yeah.
somebody says some bad words,
That's
it's
right.
down.
So that means you have to practice more, so that it becomes it becomes stronger. The notion of non-self becomes stronger with you. Yeah.
some lovely answer.
Okay.
Okay. I happen to read the book of Venerable Maharishi Sūlānanda.
Yes.
He's a Burmese monk.
Yes.
And he went to Malaysia to give seminars to people like our friends.
Yes.
So I just wonder if our friends will study with him or not. Because when I read the book, I saw that what he wrote in the book is just exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
so it's exactly just the same, and then I understand better.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
by your teaching and his teaching, I don't know if you have the same teacher.
Yes. Yeah.
You have.
Right. We belong to the same tradition. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's
that's
just
right.
the same.
Yeah.
And he's from Burma. He went to Malaysia to teach.
Yes.
And then the student put all of these teaching together and put it in one book.
Oh.
So I read that one. I said, oh, it looks like Venerable Sīlānanda.
Yes. Yeah.
So I just wonder if our friends will do the same thing.
Yeah, the same thing.
The same thing in Malaysia.
That's right. Yes.
Did you know who will teach?
Now I think I've forgotten his name. He once visited in the United States. I don't remember his name, but he belongs to the same tradition. Yeah. And then Sayadaw Upandita, he is a successor to Mahasi Sayadaw, and he will be in Malaysia sometime. Maybe he's in Malaysia now or sometime later. So he's going to teach meditation in Malaysia, and he is going to come to the United States next year. I think April or May. May and June. So he's going to teach about 2 months in Massachusetts. Okay, now you share merit. So you do it in Vietnamese first.
Nguyện đem công đức này hướng về khắp thân cả đệ tử và chúng sanh đều trọn thành đạo.
Now let's do it in English. So when we share merits, please think of the 4 persons to whom we send thoughts of loving kindness, and when you see them, then please let them rejoice at our merit, and let them say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now please repeat after me. May all beings share this merit,
May all beings share this merit,
which we have thus acquired,
which we have thus acquired,
for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness.
for the acquisition of all happiness.
May beings inhabiting space and earth,
May beings inhabiting space and earth,
deities and others of mighty power,
deities and others of my power,
share this merit of ours.
share this merit of ours.
May they long protect the teaching.
May they all protect the teaching.
Sadhu, sadhu.